your eyes like in your hood.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that day of the week, hump day. You know it is Wicked Wednesday sports tea time. Yes, it is. In this episode, post draft episode of Wicked Wednesday Sports Tea, this is I, your boy OG Big Sam, aka Teflon OG, aka Mr. White. And next to me, it is the franchise.
What's
And
happening?
below me, it is the tactician.
What's good?
Yeah, we we're gonna, what I'm saying, talk about, what I'm saying, the latest and the current occurrences, what I'm saying, going on. Post draft, heading into training camp, and all things of that nature. We're gonna get off into the fuckery that is the situation with Albright, his seed, and the the organization getting clocked, and the impact and effects that are probably going to hold and maintain. We're also going to get into some 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 Sanders gang movement and the harsh of thereof, by the NFL in that situation. But just to say what's happening to everybody, you know, what's going on to everybody, how's everybody doing? Um, and just to procure opening thoughts. Um, a lot of people spend a whole lot of time trying to be right instead of illustrating intellectual thought in conversation. You spend, and when doing so, a lot of times you show that you don't do homework, you don't do research, you are not aware of the facts that you need to be aware of when you spend those times trying to be right and trying to prove us wrong. And a lot of times it don't end well. It doesn't. It don't end well. You know, I just you know you nobody's telling you what kind of fan to be, you know but when you're trying to dialogue, have your facts, have your information in tow, have your information, what I'm saying, documented, have your information factual, what I'm saying. Get out your feelings, and use your mind. You know what I mean? When you out here and trying to prove somebody wrong, what I'm saying, for the sake of just being right, and then you end up looking at it like an idiot. Just a friendly piece of advice. Just do your homework, do your research. If you feel that strongly about said subject that you're debating about, or you're, dialoguing about, just saying, it's just a little friendly piece of advice from a person that does homework, that does research, or has experienced and seen things in our sports world society, where I can, reel off situations that happened in the 70s and 80s, and reel off yardage and stats and things of that nature. Seen it, seen it. Okay, what I'm saying? That's why it's easy for me to recall, the immaculate concept, to the reception. It's why it's easy to recall Jim Plunkett winning the Super Bowl for the Raiders. It's why it's easy to recall, Walter Payton having some of the great runs in the games that he had those runs in. It's easy for me to recall, one of the toughest running backs to ever do it in Earl Campbell in his yardage and lineage. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's easy for me to recall Roger Staubach being a dual threat quarterback and did it well, in his time as a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. That's why it's easy for me to recall Fran Tarkenton and his 4th Super Bowl visit as a Minnesota Viking with the Purple People Eater defense. It's easy. Seen it. Grew up watching those. So when you try to dialogue someone as greatest to ever do it as a dual threat, and then you have nothing to stand on to do that, and you get hit upside the head with factual events, times, and recollections, and Lombardi Trophy visits, and carrying on, and things of that nature. Don't get in your feelings. Just take that L and go do your homework. Now, with that being said, the Sanders gang that have been doing it big for a good while. The NFL kind of shot themselves in the foot over the weekend trying to prove a point. And now you're sitting here and wondering why a guy that ain't played a down yet is making money and laughing at you. And it's your own personal website, merchandise being sold, coming off, the Sanders gang, the boys have made close to $20 million in the last 48 hours selling merchandise. While y'all tried to slide this man and slide him out of a 1st round check to a 5th round pick check. And he's still smiling all the way to the bank. It's disrespectful dialogue for a person who played in this league, Boomer Esiason. Get over it, bro. Get over it. Boomer, get over it. Get over it. You carrying around 20 years worth of hate because you wasn't able to beat teams that Deion played on. You carrying around all this hate for this man's sons who's coming into the league, and y'all know they gonna do something because they've been preparing for this all their lives. When you trying to prove a point and it goes left, okay, they're gonna get a 1st round check, a 5th round pick check, and an undrafted free agent check. But yeah, they're quietly making millions because their Sanders merchandise is running off the shelves, not off the NFL shelves. Okay, it's just saying when you try to be right, you try to prove somebody right, and it just not goes well. You can't stop the money. Yeah, I made that song back today. Must be the money. Yeah, with that sample. Yeah. You cannot stop this family's money train. No matter how hard you try. Y'all tried real hard. Y'all tried real hard. And it failed miserably. It failed miserably. You know what I'm saying? It just get the head out your heart. Man, coaches, former players, fans of former players, former teammates of Prime. Y'all get the hate out your heart, man. Get the hate out your heart. You know what I'm saying? Because what God got for you is gonna be for you. No matter what y'all do to try to stop the Sanders gang money train, you can't. You can't. And the mere fact that the mere fact that their website, their merchandise website has been off the fucking charts since both those guys got drafted and signed. Hey, there's a reason why they've kept a smile on their face throughout this process. There's a reason why they've moved the way they move. They were born and bred for this. You were born and bred for this. You know, and all y'all Deion Sanders haters, man. He Prime was true to this. Never knew. He built his career. He peeled the path for his sons to follow and be successful. Put them in positions to be successful. When you hate somebody else's success, it's not a good look. That green on you is not a good look. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying that the merchandise flying off the check for these boys. They're flying off the off the off the website. They're making money 40 going north. Okay, I ain't getting that first round check. Cool, no problem. But I'm gonna get a check sometime or another. With that NFL check, all right. But these coins right here, yeah. Watch. Now, just whoever wants to go can go. You know what I'm saying, and share your thoughts on the situation. The money train.
I got a question. I got a question for y'all, and I got a question for the people listening. Sam, Ant.
Yeah.
Y'all know that medicine we used to take as kids called Tussin, called Robitussin. Yeah, y'all remember Robitussin. Yeah, y'all remember Robitussin, right? Y'all in the chat, y'all don't throw your red and black up if you remember Robitussin. You remember how your mama used to give it to you?
I remember castor oil.
Oh yeah, castor oil too. But see, I want to get it for these later 80 babies. They don't know about that castor oil if you're a certain age. So
right.
So it's a syrup called Tussin, and it don't taste good, but it's supposed to be good for you. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you hated to see it coming, but you loved it when it made you feel better. So that's what this situation is, because what y'all got to understand about the Sanders family is you ain't done nothing, but you started a fight with a bully that you can't beat. I'm gonna say that again. The NFL started a fight with a bully they can't beat, because let's be real. You let him go in the 5th round to Cleveland. What did you stop? Did he not get signed by Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does he not have his jersey where now it's going to sell out everywhere it goes? You didn't stop Shiloh from getting with Tampa. And even Dion reached out to Bowles and said, hey, thanks for giving my son the opportunity. What did you stop? You didn't stop anything. What you did is create a monster, because this young man, yes, he's going to get paid. He had money before the NFL. He'll have money after. He's going to get paid. Now you have a young Sanders with a vendetta on a team that didn't look like it was going to do something. So now we must be very careful. Very careful. All right. This young man gonna show out, because what you did was you forced a Sanders kid to have to prove himself all over again. You listening? You forced a Sanders kid that don't really need to prove himself to have to prove himself all over again in the eyes of the public. He knows he's good at football. People know he's good at football. But the NFL is trying to make it out to be like, well, since we can't get your dad and make your dad feel like he's second best, we're going to make you feel like you second best. Until I don't know if y'all had crow. I don't know if y'all had crow pate or maybe shut the fuck up casserole. It's not. It don't taste good. It's thick. It's lumpy. Ain't got no seasoning. But every day y'all have to get a spoonful and swallow it. NFL about to swallow it.
We call that slump.
The whole pan. Sweet. I mean, yes, yeah. Some of y'all sipping on swamp booty shakes. We know, but yeah, because and I'm not gonna say if, when this young man shows out and Cleveland starts getting notification, when this young man starts lighting it up, don't get on the Shador train. Don't do it. Don't do it. Y'all had a point to prove. You had a point to prove. Don't take your thongs off. Keep them on. Don't take them off. Doesn't matter if they itchy or crusty. Keep them on, because that's what you should be standing on. Y'all made this young man a monster. I'm here to tell you. We have seen the NFL do this time and time again with players, and they have had to bite the bullet every time. Ain't nothing different. Ain't nothing different. You got the son of the man that the NFL couldn't control to begin with. And now his offspring get to play? Okay. Okay. Y'all on the clock.
Before franchise go, I want to interject something into this. Some parts of what started this particular train to roll. His interview with the Giants and Brian Dabo is where this slide stems from. With the Giants and their representation was unorganized. They're coming in positioning on how the offense was going to be ran was not up to what Shador was used to from Zimmerman, playing in college, and he let that be known. So Brian Dabo was in his feelings, and some of the Giants brass was in his feelings, and given the old time good old boy lineage in the NFL, all the entities kind of followed suit with the fuckery, and it's interesting. With all the problems and issues that you got going on in New York, and you want to shade the best quarterback in the draft. You want to shade the best quarterback in the draft as bad as you need a quarterback like a decade ago. How bad you need a quarterback. Okay. You know what I'm saying? This is the origin of this particular issue. The Giants and Brian Dabo and his unprepared ass. Now that little piece of information has been added. Franchise, your thoughts?
Okay. What last thing last I checked, only thing he has to do is go out there and play football.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I know that the teams want him to put on a good face for interviews and talking to the cameras and talking to the media and shit like this. So what? So if his only job is to go out there and play football, why the fuck does it matter how he presents himself at an interview? Why does it matter? Because I swear, you cannot sit up here and tell me that in the history of the NFL, all these quarterbacks that we have had throughout this history of NFL, all of them have had great interviews. You can't sit up here and tell me that. Because now you're lying. But you picked him out of the bunch and chose to, let's chastise him just because. Come on. Didn't the Manning family do this same shit years ago?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They did.
Well, I think it was who was it that was about to draft Eli, and Archie came out and vetoed the draft, and he ended it. They made it. He got traded to New York.
Mm-hmm. What happened to them?
Not nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Did nobody stand down Archie. You know what I'm saying? You nobody drag Eli or Peyton. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you point out the obvious, when you show the obvious, you know, and people go to stuttering and well, no, it wasn't like that. Yet the hell it was the same situation. Same situation. 4 months ago, Dion was on NFL Network, and they asked him which teams he preferred Shedeur not to get drafted by, and Cleveland was at the top of that list. It was not a coincidence he got drafted by Cleveland.
So Sam, so what you saying is the situation don't matter, just the temperature of the toast is what changed it. You know, some of y'all like y'all toast barely toasted. Some of y'all like warm bread. The other ones like it toasted. So that's what we talking about.
Right.
Exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, we know. But see, here's what I said. And Sam, you can back me up on this because you have you have the history to go with it. How many times have we seen players in the NFL get disrespected and come out to be monsters, and everybody has to now wash their mouth out with the truth?
Yeah. It was some unsavory talk when Barry got drafted, and look what happened his rookie year and thereon. You know, there was some unsavory talk about James Lofton when he got drafted. Look how his career went. One of the better receivers to play this game. You know, there's been a few situations.
Yeah, look at Hines Ward.
Yeah,
he was told he was slow.
But I'm gonna hurt some feelings with this one, and we're gonna bring this to almost to the forefront. Y'all thought our beloved Matt Ryan had positive things to say when he got drafted?
Oh.
Yeah.
They still in turmoil, Warren.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, I'm pouring salt in your Kool-Aid. Yeah, because they didn't have nothing nice to say about Matt Ryan. And you see what he did, even though he was still hated. Yeah, well, I'm gonna let Sam talk about that. I ain't gonna go into that part. That's on the docket. I'm not gonna interrupt court.
I mean, look, man, there have been a lot of situations such like this, similar to this. You know, from the impact standpoint, they came out and proved and they say it's wrong. You know, this fan base will forever say we should have never drafted. You know what I'm saying? Matt Ryan. We should have signed a free agent quarterback and gave Michael Vick his job back when he got out of jail. There are a lot of people that are on that train.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So we got our rookie numbers now.
Oh, really?
Okay, so Jalen Walker will be wearing 16.
Okay.
James Pierce Jr., number 55.
Okay.
Xavier Watts, 23.
Uh-huh.
Billy Bowman Jr., 30.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's funny because that's Jesse Bates' old number. Um, Jack Nelson, 74.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
uh, uh. Mhm. Uh-huh.
You know,
And
everybody's deliberating on that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's thinking about that and letting that sink in real quick. Now you saw
mm,
you, Mucho, Christy, IT, uh, what's happening?
AIP.
Uh, let's see, Xavier, what's going on? Nice to see you back in here, sir. Um, let me see. I saw some different names. Y'all carried on conversation to the hill. Really, what is that? I'm going. My screen acting a little crazy. Really, what's happening? You know who I'm talking to? Yeah, really 1090. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Castor oil was that was
you, you,
yeah.
you had to take castor oil with some oranges or something to get the taste out your mouth.
Right. And to the 11 or so eyes that are watching this, hey man, hit that like button for me. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to Mr. White Network, hit the subscribe button. You know, just, you know what I'm saying? So you can tune in to, you know what I'm saying, 3 days out of the week when you're not right, watching the rest of the week. Yeah, we here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm just saying. Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. But back to the matter at hand.
Mm, uh,
The base the base point is karma just takes the boy what's happening. You know what I'm saying? This whole situation really kind of backfired, you know what I'm saying, on them, given the state of financial duality that has gone on the last 48 hours from the Sanders website and merchandise being sold. Um, they hitting they hitting pretty good. You know what I'm saying? They smiling all the way to the bank. Just saying. You know. And then you got video doc with Shadur out there with Jerry Rice on that hill on that
mm,
mountain workout. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Looking like looking
Yeah.
like sweet.
And this was this morning.
mm.
This was this morning. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you're of the mindset that he slid in the draft because he ain't like that, he ain't that quarterback. Okay. So what you saying? His stats were blowed up?
Uh,
That's what
Huh?
they're saying.
He
Yep.
he's been the best quarterback in the nation since his sophomore year in college at Jackson State. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So again, get out your feelings, get the hate out your heart. You know what I mean? All of that. You know what I'm
Sam,
saying? He's the most pro-ready quarterback that was in this draft. Whether you want to believe that or not, that is the fact. You look at his numbers, his completion percentage, his PER, his yards, his touchdowns thrown, and a low rate of turnovers. Okay, all right.
Sam, the problem is they're trying to project what they would like him to be because again, and I'm going to reiterate it, you have created a beast. Why? He's getting tutelage from Brady, and he's getting workout prowess on how to make sure his mechanics, his feet, his footwork, and all that is good by who? Jerry Rice.
Mm, mm,
Basically, right, and I'm gonna go say it again. If it goes the way it's supposed to go, y'all gonna be looking at this man 20 years down the line, y'all gonna be sick of him later on then too. I'm just telling you, we've already seen this story play out. We've already seen this story play out. Y'all seen it in Brady. Y'all seen it in Brady. And he ain't had no camp behind to back him. As much as I hate what he did to us and was doing it to everybody for 20 years, this is what happens when you create a monster. So don't say I didn't warn you. Don't come up here with, oh man, he trying to do it Brady, he's changing rules and they coddled it. No, they didn't. You created a monster. Just remember this. Because you know y'all memory ain't shorter than a fart.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true too, Dick boy. That is true.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, the one aspect that y'all really gonna hate, and I know Sam likes to harp on this, let him get in there and get a good rhythm with Cleveland and he start elevating players, y'all gonna hate. Y'all gonna hate Cleveland.
Mm.
See, it may not happen this year, but sooner or later y'all gonna hate Cleveland.
Because the only quarterback on that staff who I would see or say that would probably get the nod over him would be Flacco.
For experience. And that's it.
Yeah, the experience, playoff experience, Super Bowl winning quarterback. That would be that's the only other quarterback on that staff that I would see that would get the nod over Shador this season.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That would be the only one, just for that, because of that fact right there. Experience, playoff experience, Super Bowl experience. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, Shador should easily get the nod.
And don't think now, what I'm looking at is if they're smart, Shador will be the rookie. And you just let Flacco do what he do. And then when it comes time for him to show out, let Flacco mentor him. Because the thing about it, whether you think Flacco is of any kind of caliber to be doing that, he
Juan doing the robot again.
Yeah, he going through them backwoods. He going through them backwoods.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. I'm trying to get. Yeah. Y'all forgive me. It's Wi-Fi. She don't know how to act right.
And it's the 6-man.
Hold on, let me go ahead and sit. Let me go ahead and sip my tea right quick.
Hey,
that's that lemon ginger right there with a side of bullshit. What's going on, y'all?
Not much. We talking about this Shador Sanders situation. Georgia Texas boy. It was Brian Dabo, the reason why that fell off. He was unprepared and he was asking shady questions and got chunked off by Shador. And then they started running them rumors and leaking this and leaking that and again with the Giants lineage, NFL lineage, everybody else follows suit. That Brian Dabo is the origin of the draft slide. Brian Dabo, it was the origin of the draft slide. So that's what we're looking at and dealing with right here. But again, when you try to control someone or you know what I'm saying, make them lose face or lose money, you take a look at the Sanders family website and see all them boys merchandise flying off online. And they didn't hurt nothing. They didn't stop nothing. And that's kind of sort of what we're discussing here, K-Styles. And if you would like to get in and give your thoughts on this, Shador Sanders family, you know what I'm saying, lineage and situation coming into this season, coming out of this draft, and you know, this standpoint.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. As much as a lot of people are upset about how he fell, this is the best situation that he could have actually been in. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people kind of upset at the fact that okay, the Giants passed up on him. But let me ask you a question. I'm gonna let me ask the people a question on it. We
Mm-hmm.
already know how bullish the damn New York media is, especially when it comes to sports.
Facts.
So we know about that. But think about this
Right.
for a second. Think about this for a second. The New York Giants have Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston. Am I correct?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Who do the Cleveland Browns have?
The
Deshaun
Temptations.
Watson.
Tom
Yeah, the
Watson.
Temptations. I know
Yeah.
you wanna leave me, but I refuse to let
Let
you
you
go.
go.
If I had to beg and plead for your
For your
sympathy,
sympathy.
I don't mind because it means that. Yeah,
Much to
Deshaun.
me.
And you got the big.
Ooh, baby, baby. Yeah, you got you got Deshaun Watson, who they don't know if he's gonna play this year. Am
I
I
think he
correct?
out for the season.
He out for the season. You have
Joe
Kenny
Flacco.
Pickett. You got Joe Flacco is he's safe because he's the
Yeah.
Yeah,
veteran.
he's safe. Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, no, he's out. His ass is gone.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel, I was surprised he got drafted that high, but whatever. And then you
We
got
all
Shador
were.
Sanders. So Shador Sanders has an opportunity right now in Cleveland to where he if he outworks the guys that are ahead of him right now, he could end up being the starting quarterback in Cleveland before the year is out.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, the biggest issue I have about this whole Shador Sanders situation isn't the NFL teams that passed on him. It's the motherfucking media pundits that's making such a major fuss about the whole damn thing instead of looking at the fact that this could be the opportunity. This could be a better opportunity for him. Now, I understand, and Sam, you've been one of the main ones that say about Dion. Do not let
Mm-hmm.
my confidence feed into your insecurities. We
Right.
know Deion Sanders. We know the Sanders fan. They cocky as hell. That's what they are. But the thing about it is because a lot of people were expecting Shador to go higher than what they did, than what he did. That's where all this fake media outrage shit came from that turned it into a bigger deal than what it actually was. This is my opinion, like I said. But
Well,
I think Shador actually is in a better situation because he has an opportunity to play right away
Yeah.
faster than he would anywhere else.
And it's a small market too.
Exactly.
Right.
So he doesn't have that pressure because he already has everybody on his side. So he's good.
yeah. Like we had touched on it a little bit before you came in. About the quarterback room, and the only person that's in there who would probably get the nod over Shador would be Flacco.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which would not be anything hurting to him. That's a veteran quarterback, playoff experience, Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Right.
You know, if the situation went that direction, what I'm saying. But from the most part, I see Shador easily walking into week one, easy. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun Watson, he'll have a new address by next year. Um, you
Yeah.
know, they're so ready to be rid of him.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't done, besides bringing a whole lot of stalkish drama, you know what I'm saying, to Cleveland. You know, he hasn't done anything on the field. Pickett, he needs a safe place to land for a greater, a better opportunity.
But I think Dorian Thompson Robinson won more games in Cleveland than he did.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I think so.
yeah, and did. Again, the biggest point here in this situation is all of the hate, all of the attempted stoppage is not going to stop this young man from succeeding. From Jackson State to now, he has been successful, and I don't think that's going to change here in the NFL. These Sanders boys, Travis included, are the most prepared young men in this draft for an NFL season.
Like I said, that's the only that like I said, that's the only thing. That's the only. Don't mind the TV. I just got home. Don't mind the TV commercial that came on. But like I said, that's the only thing that he has. That like I said, that's his advantage right now.
Yep.
Is like you said, because he's in a situation where it's kind of like a sympathetic situation to where he fell in the draft. But because, and let's be honest with this wouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't even say Jackson Dart was the problem. Because the thing about it is with Brian Dabble, he always said that Jackson Dart reminded him of Josh Allen. That's why he took him. Because remember, he brought up Josh Allen from where he was in Wyoming to where he is now.
K-Styles.
Dabo.
Go ahead, Sam.
Dabo, everything coming out of that situation, you know what I'm saying, in that meeting with Shador, Dabo looked unprepared. You know what I'm saying? A few of the Sanders contingent, he was unprepared. He asked unnecessary questions. He gave bad illustrations of what the offense was supposed to look like, and Shador kind of like, asking like, what is this supposed to be? Am I supposed to play in this?
Sam, you K-Styles just connected the dots to what you said earlier.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Pretty much what it sums up to be, Brian Daboll has a type, and Shador Sanders didn't fit it. And so what he did was he took and turned off common sense in the chat during the interview and just gave Shador whatever. Shador being a Sanders, being raised by his father, knowing how he's that perfectionist and being a player, he looked at him and said, what am I supposed to do with this? This he's basically telling Brian Daboll, this is below my skill set, and you're not even trying, you're not even challenging me to answer any questions. You don't care. Right. Because I do not fit your character profile. That's what it was. You basically told Shador he don't fit your profile. Thank you for coming in.
But here's the thing though. And like I said, the thing about it was it's not even the Jackson Dart draft that kind of the Jackson Dart draft was kind of like a head scratcher. But like you said, if you looked at where Jackson Dart was rated, he was a late first round, mid second round type of quarterback. So it necessarily so it wasn't that as bad. It was the Tyler Show draft with the Saints that brought all this bullshit around. Yep. That was the draft that kind of kick started it. It wasn't Jackson Dart. It was Tyler Show.
Yep.
Cause I didn't even know who the fuck Tyler. I was like, who the hell is that?
Who the hell is
The
Right.
Saints don't even.
Hey,
The Saints
hey,
didn't even
that
know who Tyler Show was.
right. So I think that one right there is what kind of threw a lot of people off. That's what because if you really look at where not only the draft, but if you paid attention to social media and how a lot of these sports pundits were kind of talking, yeah, Jackson Dart was okay. I'm surprised they took them, but I understand because it was right around that spot and a little bit later where I would expect him to be drafted.
Mm-hmm.
But Tyler Show, that shit took everybody off guard. It was like, oh, wait a minute now. Who the hell is this?
that blew the doors off right there.
What the hell is this? And then, like you said, then you go to Tyler Show. So then you look at the next few teams: edge rushers, offensive linemen, and then you had the Browns had the opportunity in the third round to catch a steal. You get Dylan Gabriel.
Yep.
Nobody gives a fuck about Dylan Gabriel. I forgot he was in the damn draft.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so like you said, it trickled down and it became worse. It got worse. It started. It just got bad. It was like because the thing about it, a lot of people got to realize about this draft. This draft was heavy on defensive linemen, offensive linemen. This shit was trench heavy this year. I think this is the most trench heavy draft I think I've seen in a while.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, and then you get to the fifth round, and this is where that's where when they said that the Browns select Shador Sanders in the fifth round, it was like, and that's where it came in my mind. Like, wait a minute, okay, we got Deshaun Watson. You
Mm-hmm.
just traded for Kenny Pickett. You
Mm-hmm.
just re-signed Joe Flacco. You
Mm-hmm.
just you just drafted Dale Gabriel. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is about to be a shit show ready to happen. And the bad part about it was the GM who he made the explanation on it. It made it worse. I think the GM
Yeah.
explaining why he drafted him made it
Mm-hmm.
worse. He
Yeah.
would, like I said, I think, like you said, Shador got put into a good spot. But I think at this case in point for the Browns, for the public perception of the NFL, it would have been better if Shador Sanders would have fell even further. The fact that he got
You
drafted
could
by
tell
Cleveland,
you could tell you could tell that the GM and the coach was on different planes. The coach was happy as hell to draft Shador. The coach was
right,
happy. He was happy as
right,
hell. The GM was on some, oh, well, we're expecting him to come in here and work for everything that, you know what I'm saying? And nothing's going to be given. I'm like, really? Really?
What you
yeah.
That's what
get
we doing?
used to that?
Because
What you
because
mean?
because Kevin Stefanski, he's a good quarterback guy,
Yeah.
so he's
Mm-hmm.
willing to work with somebody.
Right.
But that GM for Cleveland, boy, bro, I don't know
He was
who put.
straight
I
up
don't know.
gay.
I don't know who put crack in his cocoa puffs, but that motherfucker right there looked lost.
Yeah. Well, then we got all that in on that. Shador is lined up to be the star. He's got a. If you look through all the bullshit, it is a relatively good situation, especially with Flacco being over there with him. And we're
Hmm.
gonna turn this corner to the meat and potatoes, if you will, or the lack thereof. Um, unless you've been sleeping up under a rock. You already know that the team got fined $250,000. Jeff Albright got fined $100,000. Um, to be honest with you, this has a bad sound to it. It has a bad look to it. I think they're over there in hot meetings right now. I'm at this point right now. I would be surprised if Albright don't lose his job.
Mm.
The team get hit with a $250,000 fine. The team, and y'all know how Arthur is about losing money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was expecting a fine for Albright, but the team got hit too. This kind of sort of has a pink slip ring to it. And then like I told my sister, you know what I mean. Even if they don't give him the pink slip like right now, you go and then they let him go through the season, and if we're not top 5 everything defensively, I believe Albright will be out of here immediately. I'm just I mean just from the perspective that I'm looking at from, because again I was expecting Albright to get a fine, but they hit the team $250,000. They hit the team.
Say that again. Say that again, OG, for the people in the back.
You know what I'm saying? It was expected that Albright to get to get a fine, but they hit the team $250,000, and we all know how Arthur is about losing money.
Yep.
That means the more money he lose, that means your fan favorite is out of here.
Oh
But
man,
but
it's not a good look right now. It's not a good. You not only did you got your dad's livelihood in jeopardy, but you got the team. Understand? $250,000, $250,000.
yep.
Hell yeah, bullshit. You cost me $50. I'm ready to slap the shit out your
But
ass.
but
I ain't
but, no,
gonna tell you no lie.
but see, this is what it does, and this is what I was telling everybody. What this does is you put a unofficial target on Albrecht's back for the whole season, which means that in the event that anything goes wrong, by media standpoint, he gonna get blamed. But what happens is now you got your owner, your boss is side eyeing you. Guess what? This is why I keep telling y'all, pay very close attention. There are going to be arguments between him and Raheem going forward. Why? Because when Raheem want to do that dumb shit, Aubrey gonna be like, nah, bro, because he know his job is in jeopardy. He now has a micro. He has a magnifying glass on him for the rest of the season to make sure that if anything on that defense is right, is that linebacker room better be right. And when it come to plays, them plays better be right, and it better be doing something to win games. I'm telling you, you have now put a leash on this man for no reason. No reason at all. No reason at all. He gonna make that money back. But the thing is the trust in, bruh, you left pertinent information out for people to get a hold to it. That's how they looking at it. They
But I
don't care
want to,
about it, son.
but I do want to ask a question though, and I want to ask Ant this question too. So let's say at the worst case scenario, yeah, this is a pink slip for Jeff Ulbrich. Who does Raheem Morris have to turn to call defense? Is it going to be him or anybody that's in here? Because
Jared Gray gonna have to come out that back office. As much as he don't want to, Jared Gray gonna have to come out that back office.
Yeah, but Raheem want to keep his job. Because if Raheem had to do it by himself, he gonna be gone by game 7. I'm telling you right now. If Raheem got to do the Bugs Bunny thing, defensive coordinator Bugs Bunny, a head coach Bugs Bunny, assistant head coach Bugs Bunny, if he got to do that, he gonna get fired. That's for sure.
because I just find this interesting that all this comes around when once again the Atlanta Falcons have destroyed another media driven narrative about the Falcons ain't doing shit in the offseason. And this comes about.
Yeah. See, now this is gonna be the main story of the damn season.
Sound like sabotage to me.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. It's not going to be, oh, the Falcons drafted well. It's not going to be about, how, Drake got his 5th-year extension. No, the Falcons can't keep their own personal information in-house.
And it's a sad thing because you as a kid has been around NFL locker rooms and NFL superstars and high profile players since you was 10 years old. You get to be 22 and you pull this stupid shit and put your dad's livelihood in jeopardy, and you put a real shitty stain on the organization. You know, you and you and in your own livelihood now going forward, anywhere you go, yeah. Because understand, the wheel has been changed. Your trust fund is gone. That's gone.
I
That's
trust
gone.
you.
And I hope that townhouse apartment out there in Roswell that you living in is in your name, because it's in your dad's name. Oh, you got to get the hell out. You got to get out. You got to go.
But you see, you know what I said this afternoon too, and I'm gonna bring it up with y'all. It would have been hilariously sad, if I'm gonna say it like that, if he'd have got back to school and he'd have got to the campus. Well, what's this? Now, as effective immediately since yesterday, you are no longer at this school, young man. We got your boxes packed up for you. You don't got to go to your dorm room. We bringing a U-Haul around. You got to go. Because if you can't keep your daddy's secrets at his job safe, you damn sure can't keep nothing we got going on here safe. You got to go.
And he go to Ole Miss of all places.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have, and guess what? They wouldn't have missed him either.
Yep. I mean, this is jacked up, man. This is jacked. This changed any kind of positive narrative that we had. You know, coming off this fantastic draft, the fantastic run in the supplementary draft, the fantastic movements in undrafted free agent pool. All that gets swept up under the rug for this bullshit.
And Christy here said that Kyle Smith, the assistant GM, did a press conference, so you know somebody getting fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying, $250,000 fine to the organization. I will be supremely surprised if by the end of the day or tomorrow, Jeff Albrecht don't have a job.
Well, see, and the thing that they have to do, this ain't just a Falcons problem because it was a NFL draft situation. The Falcons themselves, have to assure the owners board and everything else that nothing else got leaked out, that everything else that has to do with NFL operations, going for the draft or whatever have you, especially as far as our team, is secure. See, I told Mike and them, it's just like if you a practitioner, or if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, whatever, you're held to like HIPAA laws. So if you're a doctor and you allow a patient's medical record to get out to the public,
Right.
Bro, that's a lawsuit. That's a
See, my
lawsuit, and or if you allow your client's information to get out, you can get disbarred. That's how serious this is.
Yeah.
Sam, I want to take a page out of your book with this one.
Yes, sir.
Young Albright didn't read the damn room.
Nope.
You picked the
Mhm.
wrong motherfucker to damn prank call. You picked the wrong one to do it.
At the
Yeah.
wrong time. At the wrong time.
You
You
know
could
what's
you
fucked
could
up?
what's up, man?
You did multiple people.
Yeah.
It's multiple people, but the thing about it is a lot of people are riding on Shador Sanders to be that next guy.
Yep.
He's Deion Sanders' son, so everybody loves Prime, so everybody's gonna gravitate towards Shador. You picked the one. I'm just saying, I respectfully, the one motherfucker who got all this backing behind him to pull this, and didn't think nobody was gonna say nothing about it. And now what you ended up doing was by you prank calling Shador Sanders, you essentially made Shador Sanders a sympathetic hero.
A
So
Right.
martyr.
what you situation is
You made this whole situation worse. You made Shadur Sanders a martyr.
Yeah,
you ma-
a martyr.
you made him a martyr, and you let your goofy ass friends talk you into this. That's the fucked up part about it. You let your goofy ass friends talk you into doing something to prank call a motherfucker who's already in the spotlight that a lot of people are counting on to be that dude.
Mm-hmm.
And
And again, you didn't do your homework, because if you looked at what him and Dion went through in Jackson State with the money, okay, it ain't must be the money. It's follow the money. If you saw what they went through in Jackson State and how that exit was to his entrance into Colorado, and how that was to him now coming out of Colorado into the NFL, it has been a rocky road, and he has been successful in that rocky road. And now you wait for this situation, the NFL trying to prove a point, and you, Beavis and Butthead, just added fuel to the fire
mhm.
and drug the
see,
Falcons with you.
you could have prank called KJ Jefferson. You could have prank called a Kyle McCord.
Hell, you could have prank called Cam Ward.
Well, Cam Ward, that wasn't gonna work. Or Will Howard or one of these other quarterbacks or something like that. You could have prank called these guys. You could have prank called Dylan Gabriel for all I care. You picked the one guy who has the media backing behind him. And like Sam said, you literally turned him into a martyr to the point where now you have a lot of people. He's the underdog story now because of this situation when he wasn't an underdog in the first place.
Now
You got you got people out here making this turn this shit into a race issue. You got
Yep.
woke folks sitting over here turning this shit to a political issue, calling the
Yep.
NFL racist and they
Oh
don't
yeah.
like black players and stuff. Like, bruh, the NFL didn't have a choice but to find the Falcons and Jeff Ober, because if they didn't find them, guess how many damn picket signs with backwards E's you would have seen outside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium in
Ooh, Lord have
2025?
mercy.
but
Mm,
wait, but
mm,
wait,
mm,
but
mm.
wait. He don't even understand the ramifications of us in the season. Now, mind you, we had a good until it wasn't good 8-9 season. Do you know now? You have just given credence to all these officials that already don't like it. Oh, it's gonna be some shenanigans in games now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The Falcons got to work 10 times harder than they already did coming out of the draft. Why? Because your dumb ass then pissed off everybody and their mama, to include these fugazi ass refs who don't get the calls right to begin with. Now we got to contend with them again. We got to contend with Raheem Morris and his gum chewing idiocy, and now we got to contend with these damn refs that got a vendetta because your dumb ass want to sit up here and play Beavis and Butthead live.
And the problem is now that and Raheem Morris, now like you said, if the worst case scenario, like I said before, if like OG said, if Jeff Ulbrich if he gets fired, who are you? Like I said, who are you gonna turn to as a defensive coordinator? Because Jerry Gray already told your ass, "Nah, I ain't doing that shit."
Yeah, he want to be assistant head coach.
He wants to coach his position.
Mm-hmm.
So that means Raheem, you're gonna have to be the head guy as far as the defense if Jeff Ulbrich gets fired.
And he's not a linebacker. Let me let y'all know something. He's a DB guy. He's not a linebacker guy. You got a DC that knows the linebacker position because he played the linebacker position. Now you got a hole in the defensive coaching staff, and you gonna let Orbits run it. Why would you do that? You're gonna have these linebackers in there selling hot dogs in the stands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is bad. And like Mucho just said, we've been fined every year the last 3 years now. In addition to this, we're trying to do things to get have positive narrative. You know what I'm saying? Positive movement. You know what I'm saying? Stuff about the game itself. It's right here. It's right here. Albright Seed is going to be the narrative of the season.
Every time we don't tackle, every time we 5 to 10 miles off the line of scrimmage, and they dinking and dunking us. If we get at the quarterback and get a roughing the passer call, it's gonna be because of your goofy ass.
Yep. We got the Slim Reaper coming in. We got the Slim Reaper coming in.
3 consecutive years. I know Arthur is so sick and tired of paying fines for shit.
Yeah.
Look,
this boy been paying fines for shit for the last 3 to 4 years now. I know he's sick and tired of this shit. Like,
it's 3 years. It's 3 years.
More. When you think about it, it's more than that. Remember, he had to pay those fines for that fake crowd noise. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So he's been paying out money for a minute, man. But I'm sorry for coming in, man. Hey, what's up to everybody? How y'all doing?
What's happening, Chad?
Doing good, man. Doing good, man. It just in the kind of coincide with everybody has stated earlier. Arthur Blank, man. When we look at it, he is sick and tired of giving out money for BS. Like all this money you've been giving out because people other people's incompetence, man. Like when is it gonna stop? It's just almost in my mind like this team has become a clown show, man. It's become like a straight caricature as in we're acting like a bunch of court jesters out here, and then we wonder why we are the laughing stock of the NFL.
And ain't shit funny.
Ain't nothing funny at all. And mind you, a lot of this stuff started rearing its ugly head when Matt Ryan left the team. Would I be wrong for saying that?
That change that everybody wanted, that we told that was gonna be painful. It wasn't gonna feel good. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, I know there are gonna be some people. They're gonna be like, "Oh, why you got to bring him up?" Oh, of course I'm gonna bring him up. Because to me, that's how it came about.
Yeah. And for a lot of y'all ain't figured it out yet. Yeah. Jeff Albright and his Seed Sports T Dummy of the Week. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I have my
yeah,
opinion on that, please? Can I have my opinion on that, please? Please.
Yeah.
Please. Well, let's just say this. I know a friend, an elder outside of AFN and Mad Mike Sports. Let's just say his brother used to play for our most hated rival, right? Can y'all recall Fred McAfee?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I know his brother. He goes by the name of Mac McAfee, right? Or Cedric McAfee. Uh,
Yep.
he's a nutritionist. He's been around for 30 years, and sometimes we kind of converse and talk about other things, football, things that are not football, the like, right? Now, for what he explained to me, because being that he knows a lot of people within the Saints organization and everything like that, and mind you, ladies and gentlemen, you have a lot of Saints fans that listen to every network in the Mad Mike universe now. So let's just make that clear.
Sure do.
For
Yep.
what he explained to me, we should have been fined a hell of a lot more than what we got. Two, we should have had picks taken away. But being as it may, the NFL was light on us. That's what he explained to me. Secondly, doing what Jack Ulbrich did was a breach of security.
Yeah.
That was a breach of security because those numbers that are given out to the organizations, those are secure numbers. Those numbers are only supposed to be brought out for the team specifically to talk to the draftees.
Mm-hmm.
So by Jack Albert doing what he did, that was a breach of security.
Yeah. It's like HIPAA law violation.
That's why I'm on this thing. It would shock me if over the next 12 to 24 hours that Albright gets fired. It would shock me if that don't happen.
Well,
Because the team itself got hit with a $250,000 fine, and just like you said, I was actually going to say that it seemed like it should have been more, but from an aspect of the team getting fined $250,000, I expected Albright to get fined, but the team got hit.
But I think what happened too, and I know Mike mentioned this too.
Excuse me.
The reason why the Falcons got off light in terms of the team is because Deion Sanders camp's not making a big fuss about it. That's the problem. Like I told people, if Deion would have got offended or Deion and Shedeur would have been hot about it, the Falcons would have been done. It would have got real ugly.
Oh yeah. And
it would have got real ugly.
I mean, and that was what he explained to me.
Because Prime got that kind of power.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Sam. Sam, go ahead. No, I'm saying go ahead.
If Deion had said if Deion had said anything to the likes of wanting some type of retribution, and it still could be that. There might not be raising a whole lot of noise right now, but there still could be a lawsuit in him.
Yeah,
there still could be a lawsuit. There's everything that has the writing on the walls for that.
Yeah,
you're playing with folks' livelihood. You know what I'm saying? That whole situation. Like I said, breach of security. Why are you number one dialing my number?
Right.
And all the other numbers that he dialed. You know what I'm saying? There still could be a lawsuit. That's why I'm saying the ramifications of this situation. I can see Albright losing his job.
That would be the next step, so they would avoid the lawsuit. Because then what would happen is Blank would have to cut. They would have to cut ties with Albrecht, and then it would be Albrecht versus Sanders. Because the team's not gonna. Blank is not gonna allow the Falcons to get drug into no legal action that they ain't have shit to do with personally. They would cut ties with Albrecht, and it would be Albrecht's family versus Deion Sanders' family, which we already know that's gonna be ugly in itself.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a nightmare in litigation, a definite nightmare. And the thing is, what the elder told me too is the fact that not only did he had called Shedeur, he had called Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
He had prank called Tom Horn and a couple other guys. So if you really look at it in totality, I would not be surprised if Auburn is relieved of his duties. I would not be surprised. And I've been saying this for the longest, man. When it comes to Raheem, being that this had occurred, the seat is even hotter for him because you brought this man in. You brought this man in.
Your
Well,
homeboy.
Well,
Your homeboy.
Look. Remember I said Chinese choker? No. Barbed wire. It ain't no Chinese barbed wire. And the defense, I hate to tell y'all, I know y'all not gonna agree with me, but the defense gonna have to play flawlessly this year. However that comes about, we have yet to see. But stuff like this give your coaching staff no room for error. None. As much as
none.
none.
Can I play devil's advocate right quick?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What if this is a good thing if they fire Jeff Oak?
I'm thinking that. I can see where you're going with that, K-Styles. Go ahead.
Because now it takes away the excuse that all these Raheem Morris stands have for him. Now it's up to you now.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Now, Christy.
Remember, Jeff Obrecht said that Raheem was like a brother to him. So that seed was already planted right there. So this is boy.
Now, Christy. Now, there have been. This has happened to other players. Muhammad Sanu came out the other day on the tweet and said it happened to him as well. That's not even in question. It's we're talking about security, sensitive, what I'm saying, information. We're talking about, playing with folks' livelihood. I mean, it's more than just that young man getting the information. This is a big picture situation here.
And those people,
all of this has to stand by all litigation. Yeah, to be quite frank, Albright should lose his job
because those folks in the past they didn't get fined, man. They may have been pranked every year, but when was the last time you heard them getting fined $250,000?
Well, it's because for one, and I said this before, if Shedeur would have went when he was supposed to go, and if it wasn't Shedeur to begin with, it wouldn't be such of an issue. But because this was a major media issue, it's a major media issue on a major media figure's son, it holds more weight. Because let's be honest, half of us didn't even know who Muhammad Sanu was until he was on the team doing his thing. Let's be real. Most of y'all didn't know who he was, so it wouldn't have mattered. Anything that holds weight in the media, this is what y'all got to understand about the NFL and these NFL teams. Anything that holds weight in the media affects their money as far as the sponsors are concerned. Let me tell you why. If your team has businesses that sponsor the Falcons, even to the minority owners, it looks bad on business if you can't secure business. So you'll lose sponsorship. That is the reason why Blank and the Falcons got fined, and then they fined Obrecht. It ain't the fact of just because it's Dion or just because it's Shedeur. It's how you look. If we can't trust you with sensitive information, why are we giving you money?
Exactly. Because people forget it's bigger, much bigger. And let me explain why. Because every owner gets revenue sharing. Did you know this year, the year before, each owner got $400 million per in revenue sharing? Not to mention, you have these hedge funds and private equity firms are now coming in here buying stakes in these teams. The hedge funds are coming in here with billions of dollars of capital, and they're coming in here and they're buying shares in these football teams. So we're talking billions of dollars in liquidity coming into the NFL. And to have an incident like this coming in, come on, man. What's that gonna do for the hedge fund? They be like, yo, what this is how y'all roll? This is what y'all do? Why?
But because they're looking at it like, yeah, why this is how business people think. Yeah, why the fans look at it like, oh, he just took a number and pranked somebody. They don't know what was all up on his computer. So they like, what else information does this boy have or has he seen?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're worried about. That's the problem. It's
Yep.
not just the number. It's he could have had some secret stuff. Listen, like this. We've already know how we got duped by Shanahan. The last thing we need coming out is this young man got information on future plays, what they gonna do in training camp, all that kind of stuff that's been kept in house where other teams don't have. They looking at it like, yeah, this young man can have put his eyes on some information that could really fuck us up for the season.
Mm-hmm.
And that fucks up money, and that fucks up your guys that actually have your back, like the sponsors and stuff. So that's what they're looking at as far as the security. They don't know what this kid saw. He's just on there being a dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
K Styles, we coming up on the 6 o'clock hour. Who's coming up? Coming up next? How much time we got?
I don't think anybody coming up right now.
Okay. All right.
I think
I'm just
Ty-
making sure.
I think Ty might be coming on a little bit later because we're not doing the heavy hitters tonight.
Okay.
Like I said, EJ got a track meet today, so shout out to Ju. Son gonna be
Right.
the track star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That would have been the initial thought, Auntie. But you know, it's kind of a slippery slope to a certain degree. But all things, because I'm gonna explain it from this perspective. Like I was telling my sister when she asked me about it. You as a kid of a coach, and you have been privileged to superstar players, high profile players, since you was, 9, 10 years old. This is not like you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? This was, and as a coach, I know it's probably something that you was figured in something that you didn't have to tell because everybody knew what your job was. When you're not necessarily being responsible in a situation like this, and you have privileged information, just all willy-nilly, that kind of sort of what gives credence to him being fined the $100,000. But the league took action against the team to the tune of $250,000.
That's the key word right there. The team.
The team. You put the team at risk. In a couple of different situations, you put the team at risk. So to say that multitude out of this situation, that the son should take the brunt of this, and I'm not saying I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just explaining it from a monetary perspective. It's gonna be hard for us not to fire Aubrey right here. I get to the next 12 to 24 hours, I will be seriously shocked if we don't fire Aubrey. I really do.
I mean, regardless of what happens, it's going to be very hard for us this season. I mean, because when you look at it, first you have a good draft, and then all this stuff comes about, man. So this don't really thrown off the whole vibe of the team, because you're getting, not only you got $4 million, he got fined $100,000. You don't throw the whole vibe out of whack.
It's not going to have any sense of normalcy until preseason, and I'm telling you, every game from preseason to the
Yep.
last game we play is going to be under a microscope. And I'm gonna say this, and I know this is stretching this a long way based on the information we just got recently.
Don't stretch
Let's
it.
just let's just say
Don't
let's
stretch it.
just say through all of this foolishness, we get into the playoffs finally. You you gonna have a telescope sized magnifying glass on his back. The more
Yeah.
success this team has throughout this season, the bigger that magnifying glass is gonna get.
In other words, the more mistakes they make, the
Hmm.
more hotter that seat is gonna get. I mean, it's hot now, but if they start accruing more mistakes, oh boy, I'm telling you that seat gonna be so hot, man. It'd be like when Robin Williams from Good Morning Vietnam. It's damn hot.
But
Yeah.
see, it's sad because you've got good rookies that are going to be heavily scrutinized earlier than they should.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the rookie learning curve has damn near disappeared. The guys that didn't play, they have no room for error, especially the linebacker. I'm telling you, that linebacking room, they gonna catch hell. They're gonna catch hell if Ulbrich is still here because everybody gonna look at them like, all right, since you like leaking information, these Falcons better be having other teams leaking. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a long season.
Alrighty. Um,
I mean, one more thing. But hey, Juan, is like you said, we might as well look forward to 2026 if that's the case. Yeah. I mean, I know it's early, but bruh, how much shit can we how much shit can you take, man?
Well,
How
well, well. If you look at it, if you look at it, and Sam, you can back me up on this. A lot of teams that ended up being great had a lot of controversy. So this isn't uncommon. All I'm saying is, if he's still on the team, he gonna have to work 10 times harder to make sure that them boys is prepared every game. And every little thing that happens, whether it's normal in the grand scheme of things, they're going to blow it up as it's his fault.
yeah. 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 Well, what we'll do now, you know what I'm saying? You guys give your closing thoughts and we can, you know what I'm saying, close this thing on out for this pot of tea. And we'll call it an afternoon.
And hey, man, look, as always, we thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to everybody. Mad Mike Sports AFN. Make sure you hit that like button for Mr. White. Make
Please do.
sure you like, share, and subscribe to Mr. Tactician 78 on YouTube. I am less than 20 away from 200. I appreciate y'all for those that have subscribed, to include my brother right here. Also, make sure y'all check out Rashad. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we just gonna have to hold tight. That's it. That's all you can do. Training camp is coming up, and we just gonna have to get out there and see what they're going to implement, and let that be that, man. It's a wait and see, even if it's not to our advantage. What you got, Rashad?
Well, my closing thoughts are this. We just have to, like you said, we just have to make sure that despite, what has occurred, we still have to support the team. I mean, we've been through enough as it is over the years. I mean, so an incident like this is just, treated as a bump on the road. But I can also say that at the end of the day, we as fans, we should want more. We should deserve more than the stuff that we're getting. And with that being said, man, as always, to everybody in the chat, please make sure you tell your friends and family to subscribe to the Tactician, subscribe to OP Sam. We always going to give you guys daily, weekly, the Atlanta Falcons. I can say that me myself, I'm humbled to bring news to our fans, you know, and to give our thoughts and opinions and viewpoints about the football team. Because as you see here, we are all vets. When I say vets, we're all vets of this team. A lot of us have been down with this team very, very long time. Despite all the ups and downs, we are all at first.
Hey, Rashad. Christy wants to know how to find you.
You could find me on the where I usually I move around, but she could find me on the AFN Facebook group. I'm one of the moderators on there. Anytime if you need some information or you want to give your opinions, you can send me a message, a DM through Facebook. I'm planning on trying to get a YouTube channel started down the road, but more or less I'm behind the scenes. I'm always getting information for everybody in the whole, you know, Mad Mike Sports, AFN, you know, the ladies of AFN, Child, and Miss Pam. She's always doing with the rest of the crew and whatnot. So I try my best behind the scenes, get as much information as I can, so that way that may get distributed to everybody. So that way they can give you the coverage that you want. You know? But again, you can catch me on Facebook. I am one of the moderators of AFN. So if you have some questions, just send me a DM.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them on the T panel regularly, Christy. I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get him, you know, out behind the curtain. But he's one of our bigger research guys. You know what I'm saying? That helps get us the information that we get to you guys. You know, and from that on being able to see, hear, and you know, relish in the dialogue from Rashad Slim Reaper Chapman. As we call him.
I do my best, man.
Yeah,
sometimes I'm a smooth criminal.
He's always whenever I and need a little bit of information, you know, he's one of the first two people that I go to. And so we keep it, you know what I'm saying, going like that. Yeah, I'm trying to get my behind that curtain, you know what I'm saying, to be on the T panel, you know. I'm working on it, you know. You know, good, but good things are coming, working, you know what I'm saying, from the Unholy Alliance, you know what I'm saying. We're a lot bigger than you people think.
Much bigger, I can tell you that. I mean, we can't say nothing yet. But let's just say that a lot of big things are well on in the works.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, you know, with that being said, once again, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. You know what I'm saying? Showing love in the growth of Mr. White Network. You know what I mean? I truly from the heart appreciate it. Much love. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, as always, I appreciate you, Tactician, for coming on. Appreciate you, Rashad, you know what I'm saying, chiming in. Hey, man, this is the OG. You know what we always do. Keep it we keep it dirty. Most nobly, keep it real with yourself. Let your next choice be your best choice, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. From the IOP, the AOA, and the Unholy Alliance. We out, y'all.
We out, man.
Later.